So the drink of choice today is actually cold brew, but mug for continuity. What's up everybody, Hannah here, and today we're actually hitting a highly requested topic. I've been seeing requests in the YouTube comments for months about how to run multiple budgets within YNAB. So, here we go. Yeah. A lot of folks ask us if they can run separate budgets within the same YNAB subscription, and cutting to the chase, the answer is yes. Yes, you totally can. In fact, there are many reasons why you might need multiple budgets on the same account. Some examples are, what are some examples? Maybe you run a small business and you'd like to keep that budget separate from your personal budget. Yes, please do that. Maybe you manage a budget for an elderly relative, or maybe you give your kids allowance every week or every month and they have their own separate budgets. First of all, that's awesome. Teach them to budget while they're young. But before we get into the details, a few things to keep in mind. First off, YNAB is a record-keeping software. It's not a bank, so anything that happens within YNAB has to first happen within your bank accounts. Secondly, each budget that you run should have at least one account linked to it. You don't want to be splitting a checking account among two different budgets. That's going to cause a lot of double dipping and a lot of financial heresy? Financial ickiness. It's gonna be, just don't do it. Okay. And lastly, if you're going to set up a business budget, you need to have a dedicated business checking account to pair with that budget. Similarly, if you're going to be running a budget for an elderly relative, you need to be linking their bank account to their budget, not yours. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start our new budget. Now, here's how you set up a second budget. It's actually the way you set up your first budget, but it's the second time. First things first, you're gonna log into YNAB, open up your current budget, and when you click on the name of your existing budget, go ahead and click New Budget in that drop-down menu. Give this budget a name and you're good to go. Now that we have this new budget, we're going to add or link at least one account to this second budget. Now remember, we are not going to link an account that we already have linked to an existing budget. The reason why we can't do that is because you're budgeting the exact same dollars different ways in two different places. And it's just, that can't work. We don't want that. Don't do it. So now you have your second budget, you're good to go, accounts are linked, rock on. Or whatever. Now, to go back and forth between budgets, it's actually quite simple. Deja vu, we're gonna click on the name of our budget again, but this time we're gonna click Open Budget. And this will bring up a list of all of your budgets. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now we're going to move money between budgets. Say that you run a small business and it is finally time to pay yourself a little something. Congrats. Now remember, this is where we said YNAB is a record-keeping software. It's not a bank, so any money movement that happens needs to first happen in your bank and then be recorded within your budget. The very first thing you're gonna do is go to your business bank account and transfer that money to your personal account. So now it's time to hop over to the budget and record the money movement that just happened. Anytime we're moving money between budgets, we have two questions to ask ourselves. What is this money doing and where is it going? We're gonna start first by asking that question. What is this money doing? Well, your small business is paying one of its people. That person happens to be you, but don't overthink it. So we're gonna hop on into our business budget. You're gonna click Add Transaction and the payee is you. Now we're gonna categorize this as payroll because you are paying a member of your business, yourself. And this will be an outflow. Say you're paying yourself $500. Add that outflow of $500 and save. Now that you've sent the money, it's time to receive it. So we're going to ask that second question. Where is the money going? Well, you're paying yourself, so I think it's about high time we hop over to your personal budget. So we're gonna follow our routine, click the name of the budget, click Open Budget, and find your personal budget. Now we need to add in the receiving end of that transaction. So you're gonna click Add Transaction. The payee, again, is your small business because your business is paying yourself. The category will be To Be Budgeted. And you're gonna add that $500 in as an inflow. go ahead and save that, and hey, you just paid yourself. Now remember, if you have your bank accounts linked and use direct import, then these transactions will eventually import into your budget, but this is how you go about entering those transactions for yourself. Now, let's run through a second example just for good measure. Make sure we hit it home. Okay. You want to send each of your kids $25 for allowance from your budget to theirs. Now, I will say this only works if each of your kids have their own bank account to begin with. You're going to ask the same questions. What is this money doing? Well, it's paying allowance to my kids. So, first make that transfer happen within the bank, then hop over to your personal budget. Click Add Transaction. The payee will be your kiddo. Categorize it as kids allowance, and in the memo line, go ahead and type out the kid that it's going to, record the outflow total, and save. Now you're going to repeat that transaction for every kid and change the outflow based on how much their allowance is. Now we're on to phase 2 of this transaction, which is the receiving. Either you can go into each kid's budget and add that inflow of cash, or have them do it. This is where we ask that second question, where is the money going? Well, it's going to your kids and it's going to their to-be budgeted categories. Click Add Transaction. The payee again is you. They're going to categorize the money as to be budgeted because it's up to them to decide how they're going to distribute their money that they just received. Memo is whatever you want it to be, and the inflow is the amount of cash that you sent them. Save that transaction and they are good to go. If you sent an allowance to multiple kids, you'll need to do this in multiple budgets unless you have them do it for themselves. Now maybe you do pay your kids allowance, but they don't have their own bank accounts. That's totally fine. We're gonna do the exact same thing we just did, now you just don't have to receive that transaction in another budget somewhere. So follow the same guidelines. Add transaction, you're the payee, categorize it as allowance, and set it as an outflow. This is an example of when you don't want to create a separate budget. Because the money is coming out of your account and it's not going into any other account, it's simply an outflow of cash. You can just manage this in your own budget by taking their allowance money and setting it aside in an allowance category. That way, when they've earned their allowance and it's time to cash it out for them, you can just create an outflow of cash, and there you go. I hope this video helped answer some of your questions about how and when we run 2 separate budgets. If you still have questions regarding this topic or feel like there are certain aspects that we didn't touch on, please always let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know what you guys want to see so that we can give you the content you want. And as always, we will see you guys next week. Today, we're actually hitting a highly requested topic. Did I just say requested? For a few months now, I've been seeing comments on the tube. Dang it. Comments in the... Okay. My word.